Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we've got a great topic lined up for you. We're going to be discussing the pros and cons of living in a small little piece of paradise on Galveston Bay called Bayou Vista, Texas. Now, my husband and I, we were looking for a weekend place on the water in Galveston County about 7 years ago. We really just wanted to have some time to recharge, enjoy each other's company, away from the hustle and bustle of the big city lights of Houston. I love the charm of my bungalow in the Houston Heights, but it certainly wasn't the Mayberry I had envisioned. We looked around a bit in Galveston and Sargent and kept coming back to Bayou Vista. Bayou Vista is a small waterfront community in Galveston, just about 40 minutes south of Houston and about 6 or 8 minutes north of Galveston Island. The city of Bayou Vista is a small, tight-knit waterfront golf cart community. The area was developed by the Saconis family. They literally dug each canal and built the neighborhood out street by street. I fell in love with this waterfront community. It really is like living in Mayberry RFD, but with boats and canals and golf carts. We fell in love with the neighborhood, having a local fire department, a local police department, a community pool, a park, a pavilion. They were all bonus. Now, all the homes were on stilts, and every home has an amazing canal front view. No matter how your home is situated on the canal, you're either going to see an amazing sunrise or an amazing sunset. We have 2 local restaurants and bars, the Bayou Bistro and the Baja Cantina. They both have a great local following. Great places to grab a bite, a cocktail, and catch up with neighbors. Oh, we have Smokin' Z's barbecue food truck with some of the best barbecue around. But before I get off on a tangent about food again, I really want to get into the pros and cons. Y'all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that little bell. You'll get notified every time we put up a new video. This is the #1 channel for everything you need to know about how to live, work, and play all along Galveston Bay. My team and I, we get phone calls, emails, and texts from people just like you who are researching areas and places and homes to live in. Let's connect. Reach out to us and we'll help make your move a smooth one. Now, if you're in the market for a home in Bayou Vista, stick around because we've got an incredible opportunity to share with you at the end of the video. Let's begin with the positives. There are plenty of reasons why people are drawn to Bayou Vista. I can tell you when we moved here about 7 years ago, we were instantly drawn to the canal life, the people, those Gulf breezes, and the wildlife. The water really does bring out the best in people. I definitely saw my blood pressure drop about 10 points after moving to the coast. My husband's doc asked him, "What are you doing differently to bring your blood pressure down?" He said, "We moved to the coast full time." Living on the water has that effect on a lot of us. Bayou Vista boasts some of the most breathtaking waterfront views along the Texas Gulf Coast. I know when we closed and spent our first night in Bayou Vista as a weekend home, we woke up to the most amazingly colorful, stunning sunrises. We sipped adult cocktails to serene sunsets, making it a paradise for nature lovers. We see otters. We see the occasional alligator. You're going to see all types of fish and birds here. You can fish and crab right off your pier. You can head straight down your canal out to the bay and catch your favorite redfish, snapper, flounder, and trout. I love to crab right off my back pier. There's nothing better than boiled crabs with some crab boil and lemon. Here I go again talking about food. I digress. I love the sunsets here. Having a boat or friends with a boat gives you really a different perspective of the homes from the canal side. Sunset cruises are a wonderful way to spend an evening with friends with cocktails and appetizers. With the bay literally at your doorstep, you can enjoy all kinds of water activities: fishing, skiing, jet skiing, pleasure boating, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, or just enjoy the water on a lily pad with a cold beverage. The coastal lifestyle here is so laid back and so welcoming. It's really a dream come true for anyone who loves being on the water. Bayou Vista has a tight-knit community where everyone knows their neighbors. We stick together in good times and in bad. It's the kind of place you can truly feel at home and build lasting friendships that become family. If somebody's in need, there's a benefit. If someone's celebrating a life or a marriage or a baby, we all come out. Compared to some of the nearby cities, the cost of living in Bayou Vista is relatively lower, making it an attractive option for families and retirees alike. Living in Bayou Vista means you're just a short drive away from the attractions like festivals, concerts, food, shopping, entertainment options in Galveston, museums, historic architectural sites, cruise ports, and of course those sandy beaches with those wonderful tropical breezes. Houston's only about 40 or so miles north on I-45, so whether you're heading into town for a sporting event, a concert, play, dinner reservation, or a doctor's visit, Houston really isn't that far. We need to go back in town infrequently, and just makes me really feel even more blessed once I get out of town, the traffic and the noise, and head back down I-45 into Galveston County. Now, if you need to have convenient access to the airports via 45 or Beltway 8 for Hobby or George Bush Intercontinental, they're about an hour and a half away from Bayou Vista, respectively. This makes getting in and out of town pretty darn simple. You can take Beltway 8 and you're going to avoid a lot of the traffic that we moved away from. Bayou Vista has a very active social scene if that's what you want. Bayou Vista offers so much that you can get involved in. When we first moved here, we were invited to a Thirsty Thursday, and I absolutely love this weekly event. The host home provides ice and cups and silverware and napkins, and you bring your favorite adult beverages and a plate to share. You know what? We have some really good cooks, and the appetizers and mains and desserts, well, they're top notch. We also have First Dinner Fridays, women's anti-aging groups, wine clubs, book clubs, bunco groups, garden club, sewing club, water aerobics, stand-up paddleboard groups, yoga classes, fishing club, and the Joe Mims Summer Festival, golf cart poker runs, golf cart parades, trunk or treat events, Christmas boat parades, and the Warrior Weekend, founded by former mayor and tanker surfer Joe Mims. This is a gem in this community with many volunteers who show groups of wounded warriors Bayou Vista hospitality with a weekend of camaraderie with multi-captains driving boats so these warriors can catch their limits of fresh fish out of the bay. Now, the Bayou Bistro always generously donates to this event. It's a wonderful event that happens throughout the year, and they also have a big crawfish event that you really don't want to miss. It's one we look forward to in this neighborhood, and it just gets bigger and better each year. The residents always find a reason and a way to celebrate, and boy do we come out, whether it's Christmas, Easter, Memorial Day, Halloween, the costumes and decorations on houses, and boats and golf carts. Bayou Vista is such a great place to call home. Recently, short-term rentals were officially banned in Bayou Vista with an amendment to the deed restrictions approved by the majority of the residents, ensuring our little slice of paradise behind the oleanders will remain just as the Saconis family who developed Bayou Vista must have envisioned. Now, I love that we can leave the car in the driveway. We get around in our golf carts. We go to the Easy Mart grocery store or the bistro for a cocktail or lunch or dinner, or to the Baja Cantina for Taco Tuesday or dinner or drinks. Did you know you can park twice as many golf carts in your driveway rather than cars for it to get together with friends and family? Now, I want to mention that all of these restaurants and stores, they give back to the residents and the fundraisers in the city. There is a hair salon, you need to see Lori or Kim, a kayak accessory store, a dental office, a pool hall, just steps away from your canal home. You can take off in your golf cart and be there in no time. We are a small town of about 1,500 people. We've got limited entry and access points and round-the-clock Bayou Vista officers on duty. Bayou Vista has a fire department within the neighborhood. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Bayou Vista's cons, because y'all truly know places without drawbacks. No place is perfect. So we're going to take a look at some of the cons I've experienced living in Bayou Vista, Texas. Bayou Vista is situated along the Gulf Coast, which means it's going to be susceptible to hurricanes and tropical storms. You're going to need to be prepared for occasional severe weather events. We watch the NOAA maps and the weather, and if a storm is going to affect us, we prepare, move items from under and around the house. It could be a flying missile in a wind event. We prepare with bottled water, food, and medicine, and wait to see if we need to evacuate. Now, since we've been here, we've seen Harvey and Nicholas since we moved here, and although we had some really fierce winds with Nicholas, minor flooding as the canals came out of their banks into the yard, but it really never got up to the foundation or precluded me from leaving my home. While the cost of living may be lower, job opportunities in Bayou Vista itself can be limited. Many residents commute to nearby Houston or Galveston for work. Being close to the water comes with a downside: those mosquitoes. They can be quite a nuisance during the summer months, so you want to make sure you stock up on bug spray. Check out mosquito misting systems and Skin So Soft. Keep those bloodsuckers at bay. Now I gotta tell you, when I walk outside, they cover me like a mosquito coat. And when I get in my car, they're flying all in the car. They don't affect my husband. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they like my cologne, but I am extremely bothered by them. I get whelps up on my skin. It's just not good. So you really want to take care of this. Some areas of Bayou Vista are prone to flooding, especially during heavy rains and storms. It's essential to research flood zones before you purchase a property. You also want to make sure that the home you are buying currently has flood insurance. You also want to make sure that when you buy on the coast that you use a coastal insurance expert. Reach out to me and I'll be happy to offer you a referral. Now, if you're not a fan of humidity, you don't like the heat, you might find the weather a bit challenging here. Summers can be hot and muggy. Y'all, it can be Hades hot. I mean, it's downright sticky. Now, this isn't everyone's cup of tea, unless you really like boiling tea. It's been extremely hot and humid this year, and my great-grandmother always said, "Honey, the heat and humidity is great for your skin." Galveston County is on a voluntary water restriction in September 2023. The grasses are dry and the ground is cracking. We're all praying for rain these days. The roads are long and narrow in Bayou Vista, making it difficult when cars are parked on either sides of the road. Lots are generally small and the homes are pretty close together. Now, I love living in Bayou Vista, but our wastewater treatment plant, well, to be honest, it's over 40 years old and not really a great design. The residents have passed a bond to fund the much-needed upgrades to our water system, and it's long overdue. And the great thing is, we're getting this renovation of our mud system without any increase to our taxes. Word to the wise, though, keep bottled water on hand. With the drought we've been experiencing, it is breaking pipes underground and water is being shut off as repairs are made throughout the neighborhood. So if you have someone that needs filtered water, a baby or an older person, please take this into consideration. You want to have that bottled water around. With the risk of flood and wind events, it's pretty important to have flood and wind coverage. Depending on the location of your home on the canal, age, the type of construction, how high it is off the ground, your rates may be more than you're accustomed to budgeting for insurance if you've never lived on the coast. Now, if you have a big boat or envision yourself with a big boat or sailboat, running along our lateral canal, there is an active railroad track. At high tide, you're going to have less than a 60-inch clearance. Now beware, if you go out at low tide and you come back at high tide, two things could probably happen. You're not going to be able to get under the bridge, or wait, let me tell you a quick story. There once was a man named Ben. Now he went out to fish at low tide and he came back as the tide was coming back in. Now Ben stands over 6 foot tall. So you can imagine Ben hit that bridge pretty darn hard because Ben didn't duck. That's a true story, y'all, and that's why our bridge is now affectionately and appropriately named Ben Duck Bridge. So I hope you've enjoyed a realistic look at the pros and cons of living in Bayou Vista from a local. It's undoubtedly a unique and picturesque place on the bay with beautiful marshes and canals and birds. but it surely has its own set of challenges. But for those who love coastal living and close-knit communities, it can be a fantastic choice to live and/or retire. Now, as promised, we have an exciting opportunity for you. This is about Bayou Vista that you don't want to miss. If you're looking for a waterfront property with all the charm this community has to offer, check out my website right here and get real-time property listings, photos, and video tours. Shari loves GalvestonBay.com. If you're interested or want more details, please reach out to us through the contact information in the video description. Y'all, thanks so much for tuning in. If you found the video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or your own thoughts on Bayou Vista, leave them in the comments below. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more fantastic content just like this. Y'all, we're trying to double our numbers and your support would mean the world to me. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.